Hello and welcome to another episode of One Take, and this week we'll be talking about Poonam Pandey. No, the politics behind it and the larger question which I'm going to be raising this week is that will Poonam Pandey's drama and her stunt affect a campaign being run by the government about awareness about cervical cancer? And was it a wrong step then having been taken? Well, what's common between Poonam Pandey, Dr. Gallego, John Stonehouse, Timothy Dexter? Well, there are many incidents around the world over the years of people who faked their death and almost never have got away. The names I just rattled off are the ones who faked their death because there was some kind of a crime they had committed and they wanted to shield themselves from it. Eventually, they were caught and the rest is history. In the case of Poonam Pandey, her so-called stunt for awareness about cervical cancer came in just a day after the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, particularly during her vote on account budget, had talked about more and more funds being allocated as far as vaccination to protect women from the cervical cancer. Well, everyone started Googling. Most of us must have tried to check whether those vaccines can still be taken, what really should be the age group. And there was intense debate and discussion, a lot of shock over the fact that Poonam Pandey had died. Many, of course, asked this question that we did not even know that she was ill. She did not even look it. And therefore, for many cynics, it came as no surprise when just a couple of days later, she herself released a video where she said that it was just a stunt or a drama to ensure that people get aware about the cancer. But that's the larger question I'm asking this week. Does one really have to do this? Because you also have to deal with the fact that not many may be aware of cervical cancer. And yes, Poonam Pandey's so-called death did create this kind of awareness because, as I just mentioned, people started Googling, they tried to find out whether they can take their vaccines. But it also created a sense of panic. Many people thought, even if we've crossed that age group, let's go and try and take it. There were lots of calls made to gynaes, there were lots of calls made to hospitals and demands on doctors that please give us this vaccination, even whether we can take it and whether it's the right time to take it or not. And that panic, many felt, was unwarranted. But more than that, the larger point which I would want to raise, there are several stories of cancer survivors or the cancer fighters, I would call them. For example, Sonali Bindre. She suffered from cancer, she fought it, and today she's one of the champions of those who believe that the right time, right treatment and an awareness can ensure that you stay alive. And those the kind of stories which create an awareness about cancer. Why is it that cancer should denote death? In fact, that's what also the awareness campaign over the years has been all about. That's what the government has also tried to drill, that cancer need not necessarily mean death. You just have to go in for your regular checkups. You have to lead a perfect life in terms of hygiene, in terms of health. Wherever it's possible, go in for treatment, and where it's possible, like in the case of cervical cancer, go in for a vaccination. And therefore, a story of life rather than that of death perhaps creates more awareness. The government has decided to invest a lot in this giant killer. It's believed that every 2 to 3 minutes, there is one woman across the country who's dying of cancer. And the worst part is that very often the symptoms of cervical cancer are not very easy to detect. You often come to know about it only in the last stage, when perhaps it's a little bit too late. Yes, vaccinations are available now between the age group of 9 to 16. It's considered to be the best age group during which this cancer vaccination can be given. It's considered to be a little bit expensive, which is why the government wants to ensure that it's easily available, one, and second, available at reasonable rates. But more than that, when women or girls are growing up, their parents have to be made aware that between the age group of 9 to 16 is the time when they can go for this vaccination. And therefore, it's a part of the larger woman empowerment mission of the government. Nari Shakti, Sashakt Nari, Saksham Bharat. These are the kind of narrative which the government really wants to push for. And what is the point of talking about jobs or empowerment and education if a woman or girl child's health is not good? And therefore, one of the main planks of the government and the vote on account, and also of the government's women mission, has been to create this awareness among the girl child, among the parents, that 9 to 16 perhaps is the best age when they can go for this kind of a vaccination, which would shield you and protect you from cervical cancer. And perhaps on this only silver lining is that those who had not heard about this cancer have begun to hear about it, which is why this vaccination matters. But then I come back to the same issue which I raised earlier. Was this the only way to create this awareness? In fact, on this, more than me, I would want to know your reaction. The opinion is very deeply divided. There are a large number of people who feel that yes, this perhaps at least has created an awareness. People at least know what cervical cancer is all about. But there are many others who feel, especially doctors and experts, who feel it has created a needless panic. You create an awareness where people take the vaccines, they lead the right lifestyle and ensure that you don't get cervical cancer. The awareness, life can also create that awareness. Death need not necessarily do so. Stories of cancer fighters and survivors like Sonali Bendre and many around us who may be knowing about it are actually the ideal stories. But the question I'm leaving you behind with is, did the Poonam Pandey stunt dampen and damage the government's awareness campaign? What is it that government needs to do at this point of time? But more importantly, shouldn't there be stringent action against her? After all, everything cannot be about entertainment. Everything cannot be about drama and stunt and about gathering those eyeballs on the social media timeline. Do give in your reactions on the social media timeline on 2 points. One, has this stunt damaged the government's mission to fight cancer? And second, should a stronger action be taken against her so that you can prevent a similar kind of a stuntbazi in the future? Thank you so much for watching.